Your Excellency, honored guests, parents, and the Metkei school community. Welcome. We implemented this library, Nikolai, program manager, and me, because Nico, the mine manager of Kenya Fluorspar Company, asked us to. And we're very pleased to report that we found Metkei just as he promised we would. One, it's deserving. Two, its principal, Mrs. Jennifer Kiprono, is a champion of her students' education and an exemplary leader. And three, we found that Metkei is doing two things. One is that it's producing globally minded and inspired learners and leaders, which is in keeping with its vision. Do you agree? Okay. Two, we found that Metkei is living up to its mission to produce future leaders that follow values of excellence, self-leadership, openness, knowledge, and respect. Is that correct?
Yes.
These are values that Key, our library program, shares with you. Because we believe that these values produce youth that are just, youth that can act and will act democratically, and youth that will reason today and in future. Is that correct? So we'd like to share some examples with you of the achievements of other beneficiaries in other school libraries that we've implemented to give you an idea of the opportunity that you have in this library if you use it, and you use it to find your own individual greatness. For example, schools that we've implemented these libraries in have come top in their districts, sometimes from the bottom in their district, and sometimes from, let's say, 25 top in their district. I'll give you an extreme example. We did a library at a school in Kibera. Are you familiar with the slum Kibera? That school was called Anwar Academy. And it scored, when we reached it, it was scoring bottom 1,000 in Langata district. And within 1 year, after reading the books that we gave them, it scored top 6 in the district. In another case in Lamu, 2 libraries that we did, one scored 18 out of 27 schools in the district, and it then scored, after a year of reading the books, top 11. In another case in Lamu, a school that scored top 11 went to top 5 within 1 year. And the same school this year won a reading comprehension prize that was sponsored by the Aga Khan Foundation because they read the books. They came top, number 1 in the district. I'll give you another example. These students are becoming heroes. They're winning national prizes. St. Patrick's, I think you're familiar with that school. Last year, the boys won Kenya's National Science Prize. And the team that won it because they read one book, just one book in the library. And it was a book about livestock. And because, like all of you that we've spoken with, they're very concerned about their communities and improving their community in this nation, they decided from that book that they would develop a machine to make fodder easy and cheap and available for their community. So they developed this machine themselves. They used fundis on the street, welded the machine, presented it to the National Science Prize competition, won, and now they're going to South Africa for Africa's competition. And I'll give you one last example. And this is the example of a student who was our library captain at Precious Blood's library. You're familiar with Precious Blood? It's a top school, right? It's a top school, in fact, that now scored high in every subject that the students sat for examinations after receiving our library. It's also a school where one of their students, who was our library captain, wrote an application to go to a top university in the United States called Dartmouth University. It is in the same league as Harvard, Yale, Princeton, MIT, all of these colleges I think you're familiar with. And in her application, she wrote a very important essay, which usually when you come top in your school or in your country, they still require you to submit. And based on that essay, because they have so many kids from so many countries who have top grades in their countries or their district or provinces applying, that essay can determine whether they pick you over all the other top students. And in her essay, she wrote about her experience with integrity and responsibility as she had to implement and oversee the management of the library with the aid of the library constitution. So I think you see that there are many opportunities with this library. So I want to leave you all with one of the tenets that we feel is very, very important. When I mentioned earlier on that I think that the library can assist you, and the values that you're taught in school can assist you to act justly, be reasonable, act democratically, it's because these are three pillars that are very important for peace and prosperity. And I believe that all of us here today value those, and they're important to us. Is that correct? So I want to leave you with just 4 words from a former US president. He said, "All leaders are readers." Thank you.